Hi folks, welcome to the 12 Days of Christmas competition draw sponsored by West Hill Wagon Works. I hope you can all hear me okay. If somebody could just give me a ping in the comments there to let me know that you can hear me. Technology is a wonderful thing, but for some reason it seems to break more in this house, more than normal. Good, that's great. Okay, this is a kind of quick live draw today. We're all going to do it electronically. There's no putting bits of paper in a hat and stuff. Didn't have time for all that, so I've got it done electronically today. There were over 600 entries and just over 300 of them were correct. I'm sure those of you who entered were dying to know what the correct number was, and I'll come to that very shortly. We've obviously got 4 prizes. The first prize is a Whiskies Galore. Whiskey is spelt differently to the way you spell it in Scotland. That's a DCC train pack. The second prize was this Robinson 04 with 3 wagons of the period, Coke hoppers. And the third prize was this neat little Wickham trolley from Bachmann. All of the first 3 prizes also come with a set of Hunt Elite couplings, and these are the new ones on the market. Okay, so you don't have to worry about polarity, and these are obviously very strong, and you get a pack of 10 there. Okay, so that should go with the first 3 prizes. The fourth prize is this bundle of West Hill Wagon Works kits goodies, and they're all kind of 3D printed kits there, and I went through that in the first video of the competition. Now the whole purpose of this video was to find 10, find Santa. Lee, you're not a winner. To find out where the Santas were hidden in the 25 clips, not 10 clips. And the total number of Santas in there was 10, as I just alluded to a second ago. Okay, so if you had the answer 10, you have been entered into the draw to win these West Hill Wagon Works sponsored prizes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this PowerPoint and bring up the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and in here we've got all the entries, all 318 correct entries, and when I click the mouse we're going to draw the 4th prize first, then 3rd, 2nd, and the final spin of the wheel will be for the winning prize, which is this train set here. Better get a bit of paper so I can write down some of the winners. I'll have to watch the video back later. Okay, so this is all the names are entered in there, and it'll play some tacky Christmas music, and it'll announce a winner, and I'll note it down. What will happen is West Hill Wagon Works will contact you directly with the email that you used when you entered the competition, okay? And then they'll pass on to me, and these prizes will be in the post to you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until after Christmas, maybe 27th, 28th, before I start putting these in the post. The Royal Mail are handling a lot of presents just now and parcels, so I don't want them getting backed up in a big pile in some warehouse. So I'll wait till it kind of calms down a little bit before I put them in the post, alright? But they'll all be sent recorded or special delivery. So we're hopefully not going to have any issues with getting the prizes to the winners. Okay, without further ado, I've got 70 folk here watching. Hopefully some of you that I draw here will be within the audience right now. So here we go, the first one for the 4th prize, which is a pack of West Hill Wagon Works goodies. Here we go, there we go. Sharon Roberts from Lincoln. So well done, Sharon. You have won the pile of West Hill Wagon Works goodies. Now you only win 1 prize, so I'll just remove that name from the draw, and we'll go on to the next one. Okay, the 3rd prize. This is for the Bachmann Wickham trolley. So here we go. I've got Robert from Portsmouth, Robert Morley from Portsmouth. So well done to you, Robert. You have won yourself a Bachmann Wickham trolley. Right, remove Robert. Okay, this is for the second prize, which is the Robinson 04 Steam loco and 3 wagons and a set of Hunt Elite couplings. These are the Buckeye couplings, by the way. That's the second prize is Gareth Sumner. Okay, so Gary, well done. You've won yourself Robinson 04 and some wagons to go with it. Move you from the note down. Okay, this is for the first prize, which is this stunning Whiskies Galore DCC fitted train pack, generously donated, as all the prizes were, by West Hill Wagon Works. So here we go. Here's for the main prize. And the winner of that train pack is Charlotte Watson from Norwich. So well done, Charlotte. You've got yourself a cracking early Christmas present there. It's good to see actually we've got 2 gents and 2 ladies of the winners of the prize there. So well done to all of the winners of the 4 prizes. And also thanks to everyone who entered. All 318 of you who got it correct were in that draw. And the 4 winners will be getting their prizes in the not too distant future. So once again, thanks very much for joining me. Thanks for entering and supporting the event. It's also always good to get people who support these and make it worth my while. Obviously, big thanks to West Hill Wagon Works and Chris Bauer down there for presenting, should I say, these 4 magnificent prizes worth over £500. So that's really generous, and hopefully bringing some Christmas cheer to all of you who entered. So thanks very much. That's all for today. I'll stay on the line for 5 minutes to chat to anyone who wants to stay on. I've also 87 people here. And after that, I've got to go get ready for Christmas. I've got a house that's absolute a tip, which needs tidied up and ready for Santa Claus. So thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks to Lee for constant heckling in the chat there. So thanks very much. Cheers. Not yet, not since it reopened, Daniel. No, I've not been down the borders yet, but something I'd like to do. Obviously, I've been down there many times on a day trip with the car, but I've never been down on the railway. I know you do, Lee, I know you do. Hi, Matthew. What are you guys expecting for Christmas? Have you got anything layout related on your Christmas list that you might hope to get tomorrow? What livery of Dapple? 68 you're looking for, Thomas? Yeah, there was always going to be a Santa in the signal box. If I can remember, I'll go through them. It was signal box, back of a BBA wagon, on the platform, in the back of a PTA wagon, in the gardens was the fifth one, on the back of a brake van was number 6, on top of a car in the depot car park was number 7, on top of the roof in the depot office was number 8, behind the 37 at the station was number 9. Here we go, it's a challenge to me. Number 10. I can't remember. Goodness me, I only made it up. I've got it written down somewhere. Wrote it down so I didn't forget. Back of the Mark II, the ScotRail Mark II, braking health and safety laws there. So, yeah, that was where the 10 Santas were. We had somebody who put 25, which was optimistic, and somebody actually put 0. And we had entries from all over the world. We had one from Rio de Janeiro, we had many from Australia, New Zealand, Netherlands, Slovakia, Germany, France, a lot from Canada. So thanks very much for all your worldwide support. I really wish I could have drawn an international winner out there, but as you can see, it's just total potluck as to who comes up and win. But I'll also throw in one of the Santas with each of the prizes that appeared in the actual video as well, so you have a Santa to stick on your layout or with one of your new prizes. Compass livery is a really nice one. Yeah. Health and safety, very good, very good. Can you spin it one more seat? No, that's cruel. That's just cruel. Although what I will do, if you have until the turn of the year, the 31st of December, to contact, or once Westhill has contacted you to get back with all the details required to obviously get the prize out to you. If nobody or somebody hasn't contacted them by the 31st of January, I will pick another winner at random from the draw for that prize that was unclaimed. Okay, so there might be a chance. And you've just been told there by Chris that you basically will hear from them today. Hope Park, there was no grey card, they're out of stock due to possible no deal Brexit. I have some kind of beige card I might send out. Have you been to Harborne Harbours? Yes, I have. Not in a while though. I tend to go to Wonderland Models for all my paints and moulding equipment, and then I'll go to my local for all my rolling stock, or what he has anyways. So I'll go to Squeenie Hobbies, which is, there's only one left in Fife, I believe, so I'll travel away along to him, and I've got quite a few pre-orders. So really the basis of what I'm saying in some of my Facebook posts was to support your local as much as you can at this time, because obviously we're all needing to do that because of the lockdown, and the trading has been shortened this year. So if you can support your local model shop, hobby shop, please, I would do that. Okay, we need our local, we need our retailers, so we don't just need the big online giants, although they are very handy. And these prizes came from Kernel Model Rail Centre, so they got them here in record speed. So thanks to them as well. What am I hoping for in the 2021 range? Well, I'm hoping for the HST and Swallow to appear before 2021, and I'm hoping it's the right colour of grey, because I noticed the Mark III coaches are not Falcon grey. They're more of an executive grey, which doesn't match the previous power cars, so who knows if they're going to be correct. If they make them to match the coaches, the power car will be incorrect, I believe, and if they make them to the proper colour, they won't exactly match the coaches. So Hornby's always keeping us on our toes, aren't they? And what would I like in the new year? I'd like some Mark IIDs in ScotRail, so I'd like somebody to announce a Mark IID tooling so I can then get them in blue stripe ScotRail, because obviously that was the ones that we ran up here. I'd like to see some more ScotRail coaching stock in general. I'd also like to see a 156 in Strathclyde orange and black from Railtrack. Obviously that's not going to be announced right on the new year, but hopefully that'll come within the next 12 months. What are you guys hoping for with regard to the new announcements from Hornby, Bachmann, Hellion, etc. Also, I've got a Hellion 47 on order. I've seen first samples of that. It looks fairly good. I don't think it's a mile and miles away from what the Bachmann one is, to be honest, but we'll soon see how that turns out. I'd also like to see, obviously, the Accurascale Class 37 come to fruition, as well as their Deltic. I've got a few there, these on order. I'm sure I've got a wish list written somewhere, but I'd like Bachmann to do a wee bit more this year. I've hardly bought any Bachmann stock at all in 2020, because they've not been bringing anything out really that's interest to me, and also what they have brought out is kind of, I've already kind of got, you know, Class 40s and BR Blue and stuff like that. I'd like to see them bring out more 47s, in maybe a red striped ScotRail, like my Queen Mother, but who knows, really need to see Bachmann getting the stuff that they've already announced through before they start really announcing a lot more stuff, which I'm sure that's why they're doing it every 3 months. It's quite a good idea. Right, I'm going to go in a minute. Thomas, that were Hornby ones. The Bachmann ones aren't out yet, and the Bachmann ones are like 70 quid or whatever you want lights. The Hornby ones are £30 and they're really good. I would recommend the Mark IIFs from Hornby. They're a good all-rounder. You too, Lee. I'll see you later on, eh? If you're wondering, this Lee Murison, I used to actually teach that man, so it's good to see Lee coming in to rip me. So thanks for that, Lee. Is the E-Link any good? Yes, it is. I ran it through the actual laptop. E-Link, the connection between the E-Link and the laptop can be a bit iffy. Well, it was on mine, so I just actually put the Hornby Elite into the laptop and actually got rid of the E-Link. You can do that if you've got the Elite, but that was a while ago that I did that. I'd also like to see some more Class 87 from Hornby. Hornby have this habit of, you know, spending a lot of time and money on a new model. They give us a great release of them and then they just disappear. So, you know, the Hornby produce really good models, so let's get more of them out there for the Modern Image modeler. So some maybe Class 87s in the original BR Blue, but with the modifications made to it, you know, the high intensity light and stuff, and also maybe the original executive livery for that. I'd also like to see a Class 89, which I think Accurascale and Rails are kind of thinking about just now, and just basically some more Modern Image rolling stock. I've got too many Mark IIIs. I would like Hornby to look at maybe retooling the TGS, because it never seems to match the rest of their coaches. But apart from that, the Mark III, standard Mark III from Hornby is a good coach. It's, yes, about 50, 20 years old tooling, but you know what, it was good at the time, it's still good now, and it's good value for money. Their ScotRail sliding door ones are really good as well, but I think the mechanism, the pivot spring mechanism is, you know, all manufacturers seem to be going to this, you know, taking the coupling off the bogie. And I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with the bogie fitted coupler. It allows push pulling to be done a lot easier actually, because there's no little spring to push against with the, which you get with the cam, the spring return ones. There was 10 Santas in total. Merry Christmas to you guys, yeah. Joyeux Noël, thank Frank. Yeah, so who knows what Hornby and the likes will bring out. The APT obviously has not appeared yet, which was never really going to appear in 2020. It was very ambitious of Hornby to suggest it. It looks good actually. If you check out the Hornby Facebook, I think the Engine Shed had a running shot of it, so really I'm excited to see that. I'd also like to, really looking forward to the 91s, and I'm thinking that Hornby are going to announce Mark IVs and DVTs in January. I heard a rumour, but it would make sense for them to do so before somebody else decides to try and do it, which I doubt it they will, because Hornby tends to have the high speed East Coast trains as to their own, you know, the Flying Scotsman, the Mallard, the HST, the 91, the Azuma. It's only ever Hornby that produce these East Coast icons, with the exception of the Deltic, which obviously is now going to go to a Cura scale. Yeah, they could do some more railroad locos, because the price of the main locos is getting a bit high, which is not Hornby's fault, it's just what's happening all over. But when you see Bachmann bring out a non-sound fed, I think it is class 57, and it's hitting 200 quid, I think it's non-sound fed, you've got to ask yourself, where are we going here? We're just pricing ourselves out of the market here, for what is not a new tooling as well. I'd also like to see Bachmann drop the price of their 47s to answer the call from Heljan, who are obviously going to compete against them. We saw that with the 66 when Hattons came along. We saw the market flooded with Bachmann 66s and Hornby Railroad 66s. So hopefully we'll see some of those coming to fruition, and maybe just keeping the price a little bit Bachmann. I will do a live stream at some point, Daniel, up the loft, yeah. Maybe showing some of the Waverley Gardens and stuff that I've finished. I'm working on a scratch build, which is actually on the desk behind the laptop here. That's my factory that I think I talked about in the October or November. I'm looking at progressing that. Okay guys, I'm going to head off at 1:30 because I've got a lot to do. I'm sure you guys have as well. Thanks for staying and chatting to me. Yeah, the prices have gone mad. I mean, Hornby, credit to Hornby, they've managed to keep the coaches in about £30–35, which is what they were charging about 5 years ago. And the price of the locals isn't going up as much as the price of our Bachmann product. I have to say the best value for money on the market just now is a Cura scale. To get 5 wagons for 150 quid, or 3 for 60–65 quid, I mean, considering the amount of detail in the actual wagon and the product, it just shows you it can be done, and you wonder why some other companies are producing older tooling at higher prices. So it's good to see people like the Cura scale coming to market, and I'm not paid to say that. I'm not affiliated to any manufacturer of rolling stock or locomotives. The EFE Rail 58, is that just a Heljan model? Retooled, or rebadged, should I say? £185 is an absolute joke. An absolute joke. I got mine for £125. Cheers, Barry. I got mine for £125 about 5–6 years ago, and that was a Olivia Rail, Olivia's Trains exclusive at the time, and the 58s were sitting at about £110 standard. So to go up to £185 for one of them is, why are we doing this? It's not even a new tooling. Is it even, is it an 8-pin, or is it they moved it to 21 pin? Is it still an 8-pin for the 58, Chris? Do you know? It's a good model, but it's it's not a new tooling. It's still 8-pin. I mean, they don't even put it to 21. I know Hornby stick with the 8-pin, and the majority of us will only have head and tail lights. I know the 6th function allows for parking lights, daytime, night lights, all that kind of stuff, but I've found with the 6 pins that I've got, I very rarely use the extra functions, if I'm totally being honest. I've got 6 function, what is it, 8 on my Dapol bubble car, and I just didn't use most of the functions, so we're asking for more and more and more, pushing the price up, and you know, we're not using the functions. Too much money, Mike, too much money if you're paying 185 quid for one, I'll tell you that right now. That's not what I got you for Christmas either, so don't get too excited. The budget was £4, Mike, and I blew that by 50 pence, so it's definitely going to be a 158 for you. Hopefully, in France, obviously they're going to the EU and the continent, hopefully today we've got an EU trade deal between the EU and the UK. I'm not going to get too much into politics here, but that would save me a hell of a lot of money on my next BMW. But I don't know how this will work with models coming straight from France, because, straight from China, because they're not going through the EU, so I don't know if they maybe dock at Felixstowe or whatever, and we don't have to worry about an EU tariff on Chinese goods, so it might actually get a wee bit cheaper. Who knows? I'm sure Boris will sort us out again. No, Mike, they were £5.50. So you never know. Brexit means Brexit. So we might get things cheaper from China. Who knows? Probably painted in lead paint and poisons and all, but you never know. The standards will still be the same. I don't want a Jag, Chris. If you want a proper car, you buy a German car. Eh? That's the bottom line, isn't it? He's not responded yet. Right, guys, it's now coming up to past. I'm going to head off. But thanks very much again for joining me for the spin the wheel. Hope to do this again sometime. I really do enjoy doing the competitions and giving you some enjoyment trying to win these prizes. I'm really sorry, obviously we've not got a prize for everyone, but there is a limit to what we can do. But who knows what Brexit is good for us, Frank. I don't know, is it good for you? We'll soon find out, politics aside, but hopefully we can all still trade freely and visit each other in different countries without getting too much hassle. Right, guys, that's past. I'm going to sign off here. Thanks to everyone who entered. Have a Merry Christmas, stay safe, and I'll be back in about a week's time to give my Dean Park Top 10 of 2020. I did one of them last year, and obviously there were a lot of models I bought last year. Not so many locomotives I bought this year, but I've certainly kept buying. So there'll be an interesting top 10 of 2020 coming to you in the next few days, so please keep an eye on my channel for that. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Cheers just now.